If the price of fuel had been high then, and the truck drivers had their reasons of the COVID tests and whatsoever, and they striked and all those were scrapped off, why are the prices still high?
We usually do is put pressure onto the government. We want 2 days, we want what happened, we want a report of what is the investigation saying, what no.
You see, now that is where I talk about
Ugandans has to be Uganda has to be patient enough. Uganda cannot in whatsoever situation scrap off taxes.
I didn't say
of commodity.
Without, I don't want to beat around the bush. The reason is why we are having all this mess. It's coming as a result of priorities of the government. All this mess that a lower Ugandan. I'm talking about a lower Ugandan. You understand? The IMF.
The other day I saw a topic of Bazukuru with His Excellency the President.
Yes.
And he was part
Who
of
are those
the group.
Bazukuru?
Is there number one?
You're one of
What
them.
are they? What? Okay, I'm one of them.
You're one of them.
What are they advising the president? You see, they need to, whoever is leading that program. I saw that daughter, I think she's the one leading the program. Of
And that is very wrong.
The Bazukuru who should meet the president. They should come out on ground and look for me. Who will face the president? And tell him,
the
look,
reality.
Mr. President, I come from deep down in Kashari, in a village called Kahihi. I've seen how an average Ugandan, a farmer down there is suffering because of the high taxes you're putting on agricultural commodities.
As much as there is an issue to handle, there's a discussion ongoing, yes. But let's antamount pressure onto the people that we send to help us discuss these things.
Those are members of parliament.
Not, quote me well, not through violence, not through an issue of demonstration.
The type of people that you send to work with the president represent our views. If you send there an idiot, he's going to represent idiotic ideologies.
Everything is high. Fuel is high. Soap is high. Sugar. The sugar we manufacture here
And surprisingly,
in Jinja, in Kakira, in
Masindi.
in Masindi is high. How?
Because we don't have Minister
you see
of Finance.
The government is becoming
Yes.
sort of a joke.
Release the stimulus fund to all African countries to ease on the effects of after effects of COVID to all African countries. Now, where is that money? Instead of concentrating on issues that are affecting northern Uganda, you're there discussing about Zake. 2 months discussing about censuring of an
Which is
MP.
less
2 months. You even can't spend a parliamentary sitting, a day's parliamentary sitting discussing on prices, but you can spend a whole day and
Discussing on how to
and another one and another 2 months discussing on censure on how to censure an honorable member of parliament.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, depending on the country where you are. We thank God for the life the Lord has given us. We are not the most important people in this nation, but by God's grace, we are surviving. We are back on our show with youth frontliners. They've been off for a while, and I know there are those who had gone in the village to dig, and we have some farmers here, like Ram Temba here, serious farmer and businessman.
No, we had gone for recess.
The talk show had gone for recess, of course.
The talk show had gone for recess. Where is your sister?
Anita.
Anita.
She's having a few issues to handle.
She's absent with apologies.
Absent with apology, of course.
I thought
she'll
she'd
join us sometime.
Who knows?
I don't know. So
God knows.
I welcome you, everyone on this show. I'm with all guys, all our guests as usual. They're available. You guys first say hi to our viewers, and now we see how the program will start.
Good morning, countrymen and women out there. Welcome back to the show, of course, the Youth Frontline. We are privileged to be back. People have lost lives, people are sick, price fluctuations have made it worse. It has made it impossible for people to move out and earn a living, but we thank God we are here. As usual, I'm Richard Tumsime Barigayomwe, a lawyer and a farmer out here. Greetings to every Ugandan out there, and thanks for watching us. Welcome back on the show.
Okay. Yes. The only man with the flag of Mzee Museveni.
Why not? Why not? There are two flags by the
That
way.
is the Museveni diehard.
There are two flags.
Hey.
There is the old man of the hat and the East African flag.
So you are in two.
The old man needs to invite you for a discussion.
We should, because we are thinking of East Africa as one.
When you want him to be the leader of East Africa again?
No, we are thinking of uniting ourselves.
The East
We are
African
not
integration,
saying,
like he always says,
yes,
the
the
big
East
man with a
African
hat.
integration.
Since he became a president, he been integration. Yes.
Because we have failed to agree.
We are not in place
East
of
Africans
discussion.
are
We
not,
said, say hi to that.
nonetheless, welcome back to the show, our viewers. My name is Lodrick Muhanguzi, and we are here. Regardless, prices are increasing. Ugandans always find a way of living.
Okay.
Exactly.
Regardless.
On their own.
But welcome to the show. We hope we have good issues to discuss, and we learn from one another.
Okay. The big man from the show.
Yes, good morning, viewers. Welcome back to this show. My name is Anes Ramdemba. A businessman.
A businessman.
Yes. Trying to do some farming here and there.
You're the people making us suffer now. You have your business, things are hiking and no one is bothered.
We are going to discuss that. I'm so privileged to be on this show once again. I think due to public demand, we are now back on air. We are now back on air.
And this time you will be expecting us every Sunday. Leave it, like it, we shall be available. Depending where you are, and the show will be taking place. Okay, now all our viewers, we have a lot of things to discuss, but the most important thing at the moment is the price hiking. We've just heard our neighboring country, South Sudan, yesterday, students, they went on the road for strike against the price hiking. Basically, it was the bread issue, because it's the most important thing, they love eating. So they said the bread quadrupled times the price. And we believe that Uganda has been supplying them. And our concern is, as youths of this nation, where are we heading when we see things hiking like that? And I believe that the country, we must be having what we call price floor and the price ceiling set by the government. Do we have the running government? Starting from you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Of course, as usual, I think we have the running government led by His Excellency Mzee Tibuhaburwa. Of course, with the price increase, I think we would put the blame on the government, though the Prime Minister came out to clarify that we shouldn't blame the government. But then whom should we blame?
But I don't know.
Because it is the running government. As I speak now, the price of a bar of soap is 10,000. The other day, like 2 days back, I was in town with a certain gentleman who sells samosas. And he came to me telling me that where is the nation heading? Because in the past he had the capacity to pay fees for his children, but at the moment he doesn't have the capacity. Why? He gave me a reason of the price of cooking oil, which was at 8,000, right now is at 100,000. And you expect a low-income earner in Uganda to survive with such prices? Of course, all that aside, we have to blame the government, because I think all this comes from fuel increase prices. I remember like a month or 2 months back, fuel prices were so high. Why? The truck drivers said it was because of the COVID tests at the border, what and whatsoever, but we no longer have those tests. They scrapped them off. So why are the fuel prices still high.
Mm.
I pose a question to the government. You see, the government as a leading arm of Uganda,
Mm.
should have checked, okay, if the price of fuel had been high then, and the truck drivers had their reasons of the COVID tests and whatsoever, and they striked and all those were scrapped off, why are the prices still high at the moment? And what has the government done? We have a president, we have ministers, we have MPs out there.
Mm.
What have they done? The other day on Wednesday, I heard that there was a caucus in Kololo with NRM MPs meeting the president to discuss on that same issue. But we are still waiting for a report. What have they resolved?
Okay.
Me, I think with these general commodities which are being used by an average Ugandan, an average Ugandan who earns 50,000 a month, and you expect him to afford soap, afford sugar, those small commodities for home use. One, the government should, I think the government should scrap off taxes on these commodities to loosen up for an average Ugandan out there.
Okay.
Ensure that even the average Ugandan can enjoy his stay in Uganda. But without the government doing that, that's why we are having very many Ugandans running out of the country
Absolutely.
to seek refuge in these other countries. And when you look at those other countries, how better are they? How better are they from Uganda? We should live in Uganda and enjoy it as Ugandans. You get? But let not the government, because the situation is worsening day in, day out. And then actually, the opposition is not coming out to do something on this issue. But you'll see them on streets demonstrating for Tojikwata and whatsoever, which is less important for an average Ugandan. Therefore, I call upon, for example, the so-called liberator of the nation, who has been out here shouting that he's a liberator.
Who is that?
His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi. So I call upon Robert Kyagulanyi and his government in Kamocha there to come out and liberate Ugandans on this issue. On that we shall join him.
If you know it's from Kamocha, why do you call him entire nation then?
Because he calls himself a liberator. These are issues the liberators should moderate on.
Stop misusing words sometimes.
So I call him upon
to come
out. Let's go on the streets out there and show the government what it should do.
Okay.
For an average Ugandan to enjoy.
Okay.
His stay in
I will go direct to Mr. Honesty. The big man with the big glasses.
I wanted...
thank you.
No, hold on.
I wanted, before we go to Mr. Ernest, I wanted to interject with his entire speech.
Okay. Why?
Right from the start.
You cannot interject with my entire speech.
No, it is fine. You're allowed. Interject. Your interjection is accepted.
Good morning, our viewers, once again. We have a guest, a frontliner like I, whose arguments I totally do not agree with. Why? When we talk of price increment of commodities and whatnot, there is no situation where you start to blame the government. You don't blame. You call upon the government to find a solution for it. Two, this is a question that I want you to internalize. Does Uganda produce fuel that we use on our own?
Do you accept that I have the right
wait.
Do you accept that I have the right to blame the government?
The question is, does Uganda produce fuel today that Uganda has come out and has agreed or has announced that we are producing fuel that we are using within our state and exporting? Does it? No. Now, if it does not, our suppliers of fuel, if their fuel if they are supplying to us fuel and their prices are high, with Ugandans wanting to make profit in whatsoever export that is made, they have to hike the price.
And what has the government done about that?
Exactly.
That is why I'm blaming the government.
Just like you mentioned that there was a sitting in Kololo for discussions of the same issue.
And what is the report
Now,
on that sitting?
That is what we are supposed to be waiting
I think
for.
now you see why I'm
If there is
blaming
a
the
discussion,
government.
if there is a discussion in the way or ongoing, Ugandans are bound to be patient, to wait
Till when?
till the discussions are made with resolutions, with proper.
You know we've
you
been
see,
pa-
what happens with Ugandans is this: in the incidences of the late Kawesi, may he so rest in peace, and the people that had been killed or assassinated, Ugandans, what we usually do is put pressure onto the government. We want 2 days, we want what happened, we want a report of what is the investigation saying, what, no.
You see now that is why I talk about
Ugandans
the
has to be,
inefficiency of the nation.
Uganda has to be patient enough, because things that concern the nation are not done in 1 week. Things that concern the nation are not done in 1 month.
Roderick, this is a matter of emergency.
It's not a matter of emergency. If it is a matter of emergency, are people dying because prices are high?
Man,
Like I started,
You're waiting for them to die.
No, people are not dying.
You're
and people are
waiting
not
for them
going
to
die
die.
because someone is going to die because of lack of soap.
Yes.
It is a necessity in a household.
Why is it a necessity?
Okay? It is a necessity in a household. And we must agree that even when it is a necessity in the household, prices have gone high. We cannot go overhead that a price of soap has gone high, so Uganda cannot continue, so we cannot
No one has said.
leave.
No one has said Uganda cannot continue.
No, what
The
is your
government
point?
sees-
What's
the
your
go-
point?
My point is the government sees these things happening. The head of state sees these things happening. There is a sitting ongoing, and resolutions are yet to be pronounced.
May I ask you a question?
Honorable Nabanja, the Prime Minister. She's a mother, okay? And she understands that, look here, there are people who cannot afford these things.
She's a prime minister, Makiu.
Yes, she is.
In
That's
her
why I
seat,
called her
in her
honorable.
seat, apparently, she has the capacity.
Being a prime minister does not stop her from being a mother
She's a
who
mother.
understands that there are people out there that cannot afford these things. I don't think she's seated
Okay, my question.
looking onto these things.
Okay, sorry for
My
interruption.
concern is this. My concern is this. Let us take time. Let us wait as resolutions are coming. 2, tax removal. Uganda cannot, in whatsoever situation, scrap off taxes.
On a few, I didn't say
Of commodities.
no. On
Why?
a few commodities that an average Uganda, because it is to our benefit as Ugandans,
You see,
of course.
you see, while
We have
while,
other
while
things to
building,
tax.
while
May-
building Uganda,
May I come in? moderator?
taking off
Just hold on a
the
little
money
bit.
that we borrow from the Western world. The taxes we collect within the commodities of Uganda is what we use to build this nation. You
Have-
cry of roads, you cry
have
of
the
this,
taxes-
you cry
Okay,
of
now
that.
before guys you are there,
Have the taxes been
my
of an impact
my
on-
concern is, Mister, do we have presidential advisors?
Yes, we do.
What is their role?
They are doing their role to advise the president.
All is done advising the advisors.
The reverse is also true.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, moderator, and thank you, Richard and Roderick. You know, without I don't beat around the bush. The reason why we are having all this mess, it's coming as a result of priorities of the government and accountability. That's why we have reached this level, okay, of prices of household items hiking, skyrocketing. Lately, we had issues with fuel, and
We still have issues with fuel.
yes, I'm coming. I'm reading my point. We had issues with the fuel. The government of Uganda, through the Prime Minister.
But he said the government pointed that.
Yes, because
Why the government?
because
You're pro-government too much.
you defend a lot. You don't want to call a spade
A spade.
and a spade a
No, I
spade.
defend the defender.
Through the Prime Minister,
beneficiary.
we were promised
Mm.
that they were going to intervene into the issues of the fuel. and they promised us heaven and earth. That you know, we had a scarf. They had a scarf. They had a scarf at the border.
Yes.
Coming as a result of
COVID
COVID, PCRs, and that note. So that was waived. That it was waived, but and we expected the prices to do what?
To go low.
To go low. You know, in Uganda we have a tendency. If you've been buying a pen at 500 shillings, and all of a sudden, because of some issues, the pen increases to 1,000, that pen will never come back to 500. Never come back to 500.
That's my question was, do you have present advisors?
We were I'll answer that. We were promised that the prices of fuel will come down. But as we are talking, I use Shell, but Shell is now 5,110 shillings. Okay, so nothing has changed.
It's the government.
Yes, in my view,
In 1 week.
No, they will never change. They have never changed.
Because the government has
Here in
promised.
Uganda,
So
things don't change.
Things to change in a week.
The moment
The moment they worsen completely. So we are going to shout, and this is how Ugandans are. We are going to shout. We are going to shout this year. No, will it take a year? This is March. By May, we shall have forgotten
about it.
and we shall
be living a normal life.
Yes, we'll be living in a normal. We shall adjust. So, in my view, the priorities of the government are not the same.
What are the priorities?
You understand?
I thought the priorities
You understand?
of government are the people.
You guys said you're farmers.
The priorities of government are guns.
You guys,
choppers, fighting jets.
you guys are farmers,
Which are less important
Of
than
late,
average
It
Ugandan.
has to be a priority.
of late.
No.
Moderator, control me.
No,
Control my
he's
colleague.
safe. Let him first submit his point.
Let me first submit. You're farmers, but do you know that there has been an increase in taxes for agricultural raw materials and whatnot? If you're a maize grower, there is a fertilizer that is called DAP. It has increased. They have increased its rates. There is 200 increase on levy on per liter of oil. There's a 10% increase of taxes on palm oil. You understand? These are ingredients on crude palm what? Yes. These are the ingredients that our local industries use to manufacture, like soap. You understand? The government has the powers and authority and the capacity, the will, okay, to order, or to bring it down all this mess that a lower Ugandan. I'm talking about a lower Ugandan. You understand? The IMF released the stimulus fund to all African countries to ease on the effects of after effects of COVID to all African countries. Now, where is that money?
We need accountability.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying.
I'll directly request you, the man who is President Museveni's hat next to
moderator,
submit the questions.
Moderator, we lack priorities in Uganda. Issues that are affecting a local person.
Priorities. The government has priorities.
Yeah,
it has.
It has. Yeah. But the way they prioritize, I mean, it's a lower. It's a voter. By the way, it's a voter that suffers a lot. These corporates don't. I'm thinking about a farm. I'm thinking about my grandmother. I'm thinking about my uncle who is in the village there. Who's a farmer? You understand? Someone who wakes up in the morning and goes to a polling station to cast a vote, expecting services from the government. You understand? Where's the accountability of the stimulus fund that was released, 455 billions?
Whom should we forward these questions
by the International Monetary Fund to ease on the effects of on the after effects of COVID? You understand?
Who is responsible for IMF here in Uganda?
I would like to inform an ordinary Uganda that the government of Uganda is not at the moment is not even is not looking at you. Priorities of the government changed a long time ago. We are now looking at military hardwares. We are looking at we are now planning the 2020. They're not planning 2026 elections.
Exactly.
You understand?
Mm.
And this and these MPs that we sent in the parliament to represent us, I think it's high time we start to check on the quality of people that we send to parliament to represent us. If we had a meaningful parliament, we wouldn't be having this issue. Last week I was watching on certain program on certain TV that I don't want to give mileage. A honorable member of the parliament was saying that this is what he said. I used to admire the parliament, okay, but I'm disappointed with the way we conduct business in parliament. He even said that as it is, people are going to start beating us on our barriers, okay, because I mean we have showbiz politics here in Uganda. You only see an MP when it's a barrio,
Oh, it's a wedding.
or it's a wedding
in the village.
in the village, coming to boast around. So this guy was saying that as we are now we are going to these voters are going to start beating us.
Okay.
Instead of concentrating on issues that are affecting northern Uganda, you're there discussing about Zake. 2 months discussing about censuring of an
Which is
MP.
less
2
important
months.
to
You even have you even can't spend a parliamentary sitting, a day's parliamentary sitting discussing on prices, but you can spend the whole day and
discussing on how to
and
censure.
another one and another 2 months discussing on on how to censure a honorable member of parliament. Government, please make your priorities right. Otherwise, we are heading for
in
doom.
upside
Mr.
down.
Moderator, I wanted to add my voice on Mr. Wamtemba's voice.
Hmm.
I'm so happy that you brought up that point of Parliament spending a day on censuring an MP. We would blame this on NRM MPs, but I also blame the opposition MPs.
Mm-hmm.
They spent 2 good weeks
But do we have opposition in Uganda?
demonstrating
We shall come
on
later on
how
that.
to censure a minister of security.
Jimwez.
Yeah,
The impossibility.
the impossibility. You had this honorable MP Rutamaguzi, this honorable MP Abed Bwanika, who was contesting for presidency, telling them, advising his fellow MPs of NUP
Even Semu Junganda did so.
and opposition, that it is high time you come up with a policy of sitting down with the government and discuss on how these people who have been rotting into prisons coming out of prison, which is actually a good point. This is an opposition member of parliament.
Do you know the amount of insults he got from Kamocha?
Do you know how many amount of
You know,
insults
before,
he got
okay,
from Kamocha?
guys,
Yet that is what should be done
That is where the point is.
other than spending
That-
2 weeks
that if things
demonstrating to
see,
censure
you see.
a honorable minister.
And another 2 months
And-
on how to censure
Exactly.
a honorable member of
commission.
okay, please,
Mr. Moderator.
guys, do you mind if we, our
there
point of
should be
discussion, we want to understand
I'm coming.
why should the
Yet-
price increase?
Yet they should be discussing on why prices of commodities are going high.
Whom should we blame on that?
we have the government.
The government, of
Who
course,
is in charge to submit the motion to the parliament?
our MPs.
Are they that's why I said we have
They
the
are,
running
they are
government.
inconsistent. Why do we have them in parliament? Instead, what Mr. Ramtemba was saying, for them they are in parliament to boast boast around Ugandans driving V8s, driving all those expensive Porsche cars,
That's all.
which are less important to an average living Ugandan.
No.
Who does checks and balances for MPs?
That's the government.
Now you see, you see, moderator. If these guys had spent 2 months discussing about price increase,
We would understand.
of commodities
Mm.
in Uganda, trust me, would have made a mileage
Exactly.
somewhere. You understand? But they don't care. A voter. I mean, they don't they don't care about voters. They don't care about an ordinary Ugandan.
You see a leader of opposition, a respected man,
You understand?
calling press conferences on censuring a minister.
You're censuring a
Is that
minister.
important
Mr.
to an average
Moderator.
Ugandan?
So we are lacking priorities. In short, our priorities are not the president of the government, are not on the Ugandans.
We've all lost focus.
They have lost focus, and now they are confusing.
Ugandan.
I'm talking about the ordinary Ugandan. Me, I don't talk about the corporate world, because I mean,
the ordinary Ugandan is
these
the one who matters.
corporates even don't know that prices of commodities have increased.
But I saw your
They-
fuel
they-
tank full.
We shall
Even when prices are high, your fuel tank is...
It's another issue for it's the discussion for another day.
But a mere fact that he has taken his step to come up here on the show
Yes.
and liberate issues on an average Ugandan.
So we, Mr. Roderick, we need to prioritize our programs.
The
The
government
government needs
has-
to program.
the government has
needs
priorities.
Okay, we are almost
Prioritize.
ending on this
By the way,
point of discussion.
Mr. Moderator,
Before you are there.
Mr. Moderator, I want to inform Mr. Roderick.
Please, before him, then I come in.
The other day I saw a topic of Bazukuru with His Excellency the President.
Yes.
And he was part
Who
of
are
the
those
group.
Bazukuru?
Is there number one?
You're one of
What
them.
are they? What? Okay, I'm one of them.
You're one of them.
What are they advising the President?
We are going to find a way.
Everything we are going, when you will
Brilliant
start.
youth are out here.
Where to get the
We are going to-
information?
we are going to find a way of
You see,
pushing the
Mr. Rodrick.
other Bazukulu.
Mr.
How?
The brilliant Bazukulu.
Mr.
How?
Rodrick.
To meet the president and
Mr. Rodrick, we
have a conversation with
Mr.
him. on
Rodrick.
this.
It goes back that
Mr.
who is the
Rodrick.
advisor of the
who
president?
is the advisor of the President? You see, they need to, whoever is leading that program, I saw that daughter, I think she's the one leading the program. Of
And that is
selecting
very wrong.
the Bazukuru who should meet the President. They should come out on ground and look for me, Ricky, and Rwamutemba, and Rodrick, who will face the President and tell
Tell
him,
him the
look,
reality."
Mr. President, I come from deep down in Kashari, in a village called Kahihi. I've seen how an average Ugandan, a farmer down there, is suffering because of the high taxes you're putting on agriculture commodities. You get?
I mean, why?
You
why,
see,
why,
when
why-
you make research, most of the most developed countries out there in the world have been so because of agriculture, of the agriculture sector. In Uganda here, Uganda is a very rich nation when it comes to and having whatsoever. We should be focusing on developing our agriculture sector and wouldn't be having these issues. But we cannot get to that when you're increasing taxes.
import
day
duty?
in,
Why should you have the
day
the
in, day
10%
out
increase
on
of
import
on,
duty?
on crude palm oil in the first place?
Can you
But-
imagine?
but-
A raw
As
material.
discussions are going on, like the Prime Minister had said, the government is not asleep.
It is.
It
Okay.
is.
It is asleep.
It
of
is
course
in
in
it
your-
total dream.
It is totally in slumber.
In your
Not even
perspective,
slumber. You're not dreaming as if you're moving.
Mr. Moderator,
You know, hold on.
in
Shortly.
your perspective,
Shortly.
in your perspective, you think the government is on a rose bed.
Not even rosebed, goose match.
Honeymoon.
Who's much? Call it, name it. Name it.
The government, Mr. Lord,
Name
the
it.
government
But
needs
the
to
fact
come
that,
out
the
and
fact
do
that
something.
you're opposing and rebutting on all that, you recognize the fact that there is a meeting or there is a discussion
Ceremonial.
It is ceremony.
underneath.
It is ceremony.
And
What
that
has
is
it
why
done?
Ugandans fail. You see, when you don't accept reality, even when reality comes, you don't see it. If you can't accept that there is a discussion being made
the other
with the
day-
resolution going to
no,
be given
The other
or
day,
given
the other day,
or seen,
Mr. Lord,
even when the resolution comes and the change comes, you can't
Okay,
see
let me
it.
ask you, Mr. Rodrick. Okay.
You can't.
Okay. What are some of the things that the government is discussing to avert this situation?
Make research.
No. You've told us
there are discussions going
We
on.
want
Which
the
discussions?
ordinary Ugandan to
To
understand
understand.
that discussions.
those
Now.
discussions
Now,
about the increase
you see, when
of price
government
commodities.
when government is planning for the country or for an ordinary Ugandan like I, it doesn't have to table that we are discussing this in this way. No, So that is, in other words, that is confidential information that does not have to be.
No, the well-being.
That the fact that we are discussing
eh,
of price increment and
no.
reduction in prices, we don't have to tell you how we are planning, how we are discussing that. This has to be done in this way.
Mr. Rodrick.
Okay.
The well-being of a Ugandan
Of an average Ugandan.
can't be a confidential.
It is a priority.
We people need answers.
Exactly.
Which answers are
People
we are
need
waiting
answers.
for?
People need answers.
Till
Don't say,
when?
But
you can't come.
When did it?
I
when
quoted Honorable
Honorable Prime Minister.
I
the
quoted
Right
Honorable
Honorable.
Nsereko the other day. He's one of the. He's an MP who has always been in Parliament. I quoted him saying that we've been waiting for a report where the ministers told us that they are going to do and they are going to go and ensure. Of course, Honorable Nankawirwa, the one who happens to be a minister for energy, assured them that they are going to sit and ensure that the fuel prices go low.
Okay.
It is a month and some days.
But like I said, things planned for a nation don't happen
Do you
in
know
a
why
blink of an
do
eye.
you know why this is happening?
We have
Do you know
all-
why this is
we have-
happening?
we have all-
It is because even government officials themselves,
They're the owners of the petrol
they are
stations.
the owners of those petrol
They're the owners of
stations
those
out there.
trucks that were at the border.
So there is no way.
You understand?
There is no way
Those
they can ensure that the
Those
prices
those
go
can be,
low.
those can
Everyone
be
is-
called allegations. Those can
No,
be
they
called
are.
They are
They
facts,
are.
they
They
are not
are.
allegations.
They are.
If they were not
They are.
allegations, they would have done something
Eh.
about it.
No. And if they're not theirs, they feel that people know that belong to them. Let them come out openly and
point at them.
and disown them,
Exactly.
and then tell you're gonna to ban them and see.
Exactly.
That's when you see.
Ban them.
Yes. No. If some, I mean,
And that
we,
is violence.
I mean, no,
Why
we know
ban
this.
a petrol station?
Listen, we know this. If someone says that this is so and so's petrol station, you know, so and you say it's not mine, okay, come out and say it's not
Does
mine.
it-
You ban it.
Does
And
it-
we see if the
but
owner will
yeah,
come
yeah,
out.
yeah.
if it is not mine,
Mm.
then why give
Go
an
ahead.
order to ban
No,
it?
but
Then we shall see the owner.
We
We shall see the true
the
owner.
owner will come.
Yes,
First,
the
we know
true
that
owner
it's
will
yours.
come out.
We know that it's yours.
You disown it.
Disown it.
How many petrol stations?
And so,
did-
should we ban it and see?
how
Do you
many
know why
petrol
most of-
stations did best
Mr. Rodrick,
an opposition
Mr.
leader,
Rodrick,
how
Hey.
many did it
Mr. Rodrick,
me, I don't know.
Do you know why we are discussing this
By the
whole
way,
issue?
by the way,
The genesis of price increases in commodities.
by the way,
The genesis is because of the fuel prices are so high.
Richard, let me correct you. Dr. Kizza Besigye, came publicly.
and disowned?
No, he didn't. The Nsanje petrol station that
He owned it.
he owned it.
He owned it.
It is his.
He owned it.
That
He
one I'm
owned it.
sure he
But how
confirmed.
many were you saying that he owns?
No.
many
No.
did he
No.
First,
He
we
owned
knew
the Zambia one.
But anyway, we're diverting from there, from the main point here.
Mm.
You understand? Issues that are affecting Ugandans cannot be discussed in that manner. You know, it's confidential. You know,
We shall handle
we shall
it.
handle it. Up to when?
These are
Should
issues-
people?
these-
Should
these-
people? Should people start dropping dead in
These
their
are-
in their homes?
Mark-
You know, we are coming from COVID. Now I think this is the fourth wave of COVID.
You saw what-
Price increase is a fourth.
Maybe.
It's the fourth wave
saw the-
of COVID.
You saw
Maybe.
the-
You
saw-
understand?
saw the report
So we
that
don't know
came
what
out
the
of Dr.
50
Byarugaba, the
What?
head of Murago.
That one was a long time.
Not long time. That is COVID money. This is the money that IMF has been donating to. these
Let us get
Ugandans.
let
You know,
only
guys,
benefiting the few Ugandans.
our viewers outside there, they'd love to hear the way forward from youth frontliners on price hiking. Starting from you.
Me, I think we Ugandans. Actually, my message goes to every Ugandan out there. We who already said that we love our nation, let us come out, amount a lot of pressure
Which kind of
on
pressure?
government. If it means demonstrating on streets,
I
let's
agree.
demonstrate.
Or I
Let
disagree.
those guys put us in, but the president will get our message. The ministers will get our message.
I don't know why.
And then they will ensure, let's leave this fracas of demonstrating and striking to censure ministers.
cameras.
Those are not those are not matters of national importance.
Absolutely.
Matters of national importance apparently are price high. It is too much. a bar of soap
Tabled
moving from 3,000 to 10,000.
tabled up with security.
Okay. It's security.
Apparently,
Yes.
security
So,
is not
that-
an
that-
issue.
so
right?
that's
No,
the
but
way
you-
forward.
it
You're
it may
saying-
not be an issue, but
Apparently-
No, your
disagree
time
with
is
the
coming.
statement.
So in other words, your way forward is
I'm calling out Ugandans. Since all other methods have failed,
Mm.
I'm calling out Ugandans who are watching this show
Mm.
to come out and we do something. Let's go on the streets on Monday, tomorrow,
if
and ensure
eh,
that the government does something about
like
these
how
hiking
like the way how
prices.
South Sudan they've done
Exactly.
on a bread.
If
made
bread
them-
can make them demonstrate,
But what
for
of
us
fuel?
here,
Fuel.
everything is high. Fuel is high. Soap is high. Sugar. The sugar we manufacture here
And surprisingly-
in Jinja, in Kakira, in
In
Rugazi,
Masindi.
in Masindi is high. How?
because we don't
Don't
have
you see
Minister
that
of
the
Finance.
government is becoming
Yes,
sort of a joke?
I will end up with you. Mhm.
You see, I want.
I want your way forward, direct on point.
I want the way forward
Mm.
is yes. As much as things may seem to be delaying,
Mm.
we need to keep reminding the people in charge, not with violence, of course. We need to keep reminding the people in charge that, hey, look here, we are deep down suffering. Obviously, there are people suffering and need to be helped and need the government to do something, not through violence, not through demonstrations that are going to get Ugandans injured, tear gassed, and before you know it, the hospitals are full, people are collapsing. That is not the way forward. We need to keep the pressure onto the people we seconded or voted for to get into parliament to discuss such things. Okay? Because through parliament, the government officials that are above them or above those sections get to know that, hey, look here, there is a Ugandan down here that is suffering for this. Okay, so my view or my point of my point is, as much as there is an issue to handle,
Mm.
there's a discussion ongoing, yes, but let's antamount pressure onto the people that we sent to help us discuss these things.
Those are member of parliament.
Not, quote me well, not through violence, not through an issue of demonstration. Okay? We can do things better and things can change. Let's have hope that Uganda can still, change with these few issues as any other
The question
country can
remains is when. Yes.
Yes, thank you, moderator. My closing remark on this
The price hiking.
on this kind of subject is one. Like I said, we are in the fourth wave of COVID-19 now. Price increase is the fourth wave. So we don't know
Of COVID.
of COVID. You understand? Because when we were still in COVID, in lockdown, people could barely get what to eat. You understand? Now we are past it. We thought that we are past that. Now, when the economy is fully open, okay, prices do what? Go high. So, in my knowledge, I term this the fourth wave of COVID. But what kind of message does it send
Pass on
to the population? Is one. Let us now demand for the explanation from the government. Let us use whichever avenue that we have. Of course, it has to be. It doesn't have to involve violence. I condone violence. I don't support violence. But now it's up to you, an ordinary Ugandan. Ask for accountability from that member of parliament that is driving a V8. Okay, put him to task. Call him. Go to their home. Go to his home. Form groups and invade their homes. Invade his peace. You understand?
Yes.
Let him explain to you why we are reaching to this level. You understand? To me, we have our member of parliament have not done enough. Much as we like to blame the president all the time, but I mean the type of people that you send to work with the president represent our views.
Exactly.
If you send there an idiot, he's going to represent
Idiotical things.
He's going to be idiotic ideologies. If you send there intellectuals like the Semujugandas and the Nserekos, they're going to represent
The real issues.
the real issues. You understand? We are having members of parliament who have never even said anything on the floor of parliament.
Yes.
But they are receiving allowances and going abroad. Trips are trips. You understand? So really,
And some of them come out to blame the government,
to
the
the
president.
to the larger extent, I put this blame on our so-called member of parliament. As of today, do you know that a kilo of maize now is 4,500 shillings? Do you know that a bar of soap is now 8,000 shillings?
Oh,
You understand?
yes.
Yeah. So where are we heading, members? It's up to you now to act. We traversed this nation in 2021 elections. We sensitized the members on the type of leadership they should send to parliament. And this is what this what eventually you send to parliament. So we are having all this because of the member of parliament that you sent to parliament to represent you. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Moderator, before my small closing remark,
Please do very
Mr.
fast.
Ramatemba, when you talked about the kind of MPs we sent to parliament, it made me think that maybe one of the reasons we are facing a challenge with our economy is because we lost one of the most educated economists, not educated, but intelligent economists. His soul rest in internal peace, Governor Mtebile. This is a man who is actually right now. I think he would have deliberated on this issue with the president and ensured that something is done.
Okay.
But we have great economists out there. Let them be given a chance.
But we have Matia Kasaija who said our economy is.
How has that happened?
That's what we wanted to understand. At this, when we come back, we shall start with this because you want to understand. Are all those people given those positions based on the experience or based on the...
Of course, with experience also matters and the level of seniority. But some of these things a reasonable man could liberate on.
But I still think, I'm of the view. At the end, we shall find another day to discuss it. I think even the qualifications of becoming
an MP matter.
It should also be
we should have the parameters that to follow in Uganda. Because if the prices are still hiking and no member of parliament, they've not bothered either to call their private meetings. At least, I'd feel much comfortable let me tell you, I'd feel much comfortable. I find like I love a very nice MP that I like. But I like the person, but I don't like the characteristics. This lady, Malende, that MP of Kampala, Shamim, yes. I would feel comfortable. Malembe has been maybe...
I've not seen him on the floor of parliament.
What does she do in parliament?
No, that's what I'm saying. I like the person. I don't like what?
Running to
courts.
She's a lawyer.
No, when is she representing?
She's a lawyer. Why did she become an MP then? Why didn't she stay in his chambers?
Please, guys, don't interject me. Let me submit my point.
Why didn't she stay in her chambers?
Please, guys, let me submit my point. I said I like Malende, who is the woman MP of what? Of Kampala.
Useless. She has done nothing.
She's useful.
How?
I'll give her a contact. You can talk to her. You ask her how useful are you?
No, what?
Let me start saying I like her because I'd feel much comfortable. She's the woman MP of Kampala to stand on the street and say, guys.
She will never go there.
When we come back,
she will never go to the streets. She will never.